Bola Tito Idakula is a warrior worthy of praise. In 2015, she lost a precious baby girl. However, she took that pain and turned it into purpose. Today, I'm here with her to talk about her experiences, the power of hope, faith, and prayer. Bola Tito, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. Honor.
So, in 2015, you lost your precious baby girl.
Yeah.
And from that pain, my lighthouse was birthed. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience?
So before that, I used to work in a bank.
Right.
And I worked in a bank for a few years. And I felt led to leave the bank. And just after I quit the job, I found out that I was pregnant. And it was going to be this happy-go-lucky, okay, at least I don't have a job at the moment, but a baby's coming. So it was quite a shock and a surprise when I got to the States towards the end of my pregnancy, and I found out that the baby was not actually growing as she should. There was a congenital hernia, all of that, and that started a whole journey. I don't think, even in that process, I don't think I understood that pain could mean anything. It was just going to be pain. But so far, it's probably one of the most defining moments of my life, because from that I found a whole new direction, from working in a bank to having a ministry, as you call it, my lighthouse, which is meant to just bring healing to people, talk. I always say it's about speaking, sharing, and healing, because a lot of times...
Talking.
Yeah, so speak, share, heal.
Speak, share, heal.
Yes. Because pain always feels very alone. You always think it's only me.
Right.
And so with the loss of our daughter, I shared my testimony of overcoming that. And I saw so many people come out to say, oh, thank you for saying this. Thank you. Now I feel like I'm not alone anymore. And people were encouraged. And that's really where my lighthouse was birthed from.
Right. What is the healing cradle?
So the healing cradle is something that I realize in line with the idea of my lighthouse is about speaking, sharing, and healing.
Right.
So it's a gathering. It's a gathering for people that have experienced the loss of a child or miscarriage or fertility issues in one way or the other. So it's just meant to be a place where everybody can come together and just share, talk, find strength with each other, you know, be encouraged by other people, know that I'm not the only one going through this. Because sometimes you've gone through pain, but others around you, people, your immediate family might not get it anymore, but you're still in pain.
Right.
And so when you're with other women or men that are talking about the same thing, you're like, okay, I can still speak about it. And the more you speak about something, the ability, you have the ability to heal quicker, hopefully.
Where does healing really come from?
I think, honestly, healing is an inside job, and it's really a you job.
It's a you
job. You know, a lot of times, like I was thinking about it recently, a lot of people think, oh, healing, maybe if you put your healing on others, and you realize that you're disappointed because it can't seem to help you. So there's a wife angry with her husband, when we're going through this, he didn't say the right things. Well, it's a you job, and it's really from God, to be honest. At the end of the day, I would never have thought 4 years later I would be speaking so openly about these things. Even when I shared my testimony initially, I'd done it and then I was over it. But the more I speak about it, the more I realize that it happened. But honestly, I'm mostly healed from that, you know, if not all the way through. And it's honestly God's grace. It's honestly God's grace.
Let's talk about the testimony of your salvation. How did you get saved?
Oh, that's interesting.
That puts a smile on your face.
No, I know it does, because, you know, I never really talk about that. And so I grew up interesting. You know, I come from a polygamous home. My mom goes to a white garment church, and my dad is Muslim. So this, yeah, I know, it was
two extremes.
Two extremes. There was no middle ground. How I found this middle ground is God clearly found me somehow. And my mom was married before, and I remember I had a sister who used to go to a church at that point, and she used to try to talk to me about
older
Jesus.
sister?
Older sister. Okay. I have a lot of older siblings.
Right.
You know, for my dad, I'm like number 10, and then for my mom, I'm my mom's last born. She has 2 kids before me. And I used to have an older sister that used to go to church, and every time she'll come and visit me at my dad's house, she would always go, oh, you know, give your life to Christ. honestly, she just used to talk. I was not interested. And my dad was a Muslim, and of course, you know, living in that, I just I identify with my father automatically. I didn't feel anything either way, but this is my space. Everybody is Muslim, so automatically, so I wasn't interested. But this day happened where I had gone to buy something, and there were these guys in a car, and they stopped me. It was a lot of different things. Overall, the bottom line was that these guys were those fraudsters. You know, those fraudsters that will do some kind of thing, and they will make you feel like there's somebody in your family that is chasing you, something. I
think my auntie calls them marabou.
I don't even know what they're called. I just know them as wicked people that try to destroy my destiny.
Yeah. So how old were you at this time?
I just finished secondary school, so I was 15. 15, 16.
Pretty young.
Yeah, I was relatively young in hindsight. Even though, you know, at that point you think you know everything.
Yes.
But I didn't know anything. So my stepmom was in the hospital. She was pregnant, I remember. And they had convinced me to give them all her jewelry. So the woman is in the hospital about to have a baby. I mean, I go inside the house, carry all her jewelry, and I gave it to these people. And
these things happen.
They happen.
You know, people talk about them, but they really do happen.
Oh my days.
Yeah.
It's still one of the most embarrassing points in my life, because you always think, how did you fall for that?
Yes.
But I believe
Do you remember exactly what they said to you?
So I remember they said, oh, you know, they put something in your body, and they did this magic trick, and it was like they took something out of my body and said, look, what's inside your body? So you need the gold for you to be free of this thing. They need the gold to do something to save me. You know, I was probably polygamous, so I already felt like everybody was against me. So I was an easy target.
Right.
And so after I gave them the jewelry, I said, okay, now you're going to come down in the streets of Apapa. And you're going to walk around 10 times and say the Lord's Prayer 10 times. So I was walking around saying the Lord's Prayer. Oh yeah, now you meet us back at the point we dropped you off. I get there. Where is the car? Where is the car? Looking around, where is this car? Maybe
I've gone, jewelry gone.
Everything gone, my phone, in fact, I just got to my hair because I was going for a party. Everything was in that car.
Literally
at that point. You can laugh now.
Yes.
All my days, I really thought I was going to go mental.
Just out of curiosity, what happened when your stepmother came home and there was no jewelry?
This is part of why I found Jesus.
Okay. Let's keep going.
Only Jesus could have saved me. So she's in the hospital. I couldn't tell her. My dad was in Oyo. It was in Ibadan doing. My dad is a politician, so he was doing his thing. So I couldn't tell him.
Yeah.
Somehow, thank God my mother came home, so I told her the situation, and everybody was just like, yeah. So, literally. So I remember my stepmom now saying that apart from the jewelry, in fact, the money, she also had money in the room and it was missing. I'm like, no, I didn't take any money. But she just added so the whole thing was just an exaggeration. And I remember just thinking, Kai, what am I going to do? My father is going to kill me.
Skin you alive.
As they understand, because my stepmom was going to be my dad, and we were already close. And so I started praying. My mom called somebody, and one of my mom's older uncles or whatever, and he said, oh, you know what, give her a Bible, let her just reading Psalm 20, he gave me a bunch of Psalms, so I used to read them. And the more I read the Psalms, the better I felt. So from Psalms, I was like, let me read this New Testament. And my sister gave me this lovely Bible. So I started reading, and it was just sweet. Like, honestly, it was like the Holy Spirit was speaking.
Right.
And the more I read it, the more I believed. And I remember that verse when Jesus goes, oh, cast all your burdens at my feet. I don't know how to say the Bible verbatim, but it was something about cast all your burdens at my feet because my yoke is light.
Yes.
And I just thought, Jesus, I give you this situation. Like, help me through this. And till tomorrow, I can't tell you how everything was resolved. I just thought that my father did not kill me. My stepmom did not kill me. I'm here. And, you know, if anything, I just realized that it was in that season of my life that I started praying more. I was more interested in Christ. And from there, the journey started.
Wow.
Of course, there was a lot of backsliding, all of that stuff. But that was the moment I thought, oh, this is Jesus.
Yeah.
There's something to it.
There's something there.
And that's when I started identifying myself as a Christian.
Right. Yeah. Tito, let's go back to your place of pain.
Okay.
Now, after the death of your baby girl, you had a miscarriage, right? And it happened in church.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
How did you feel? Were you mad at God? Were you angry? Were you upset with God? Because it was the day of your baptism.
Yes.
And you still went ahead.
That baptism had to happen. Nothing was going to stop me. If anything, I won't lie, I felt like the miscarriage was trying to distract me from the baptism. And I was like, nope, you're not going to do that. Because I don't know why I'd never noticed how important it was to get baptized as a Christian.
Yeah.
So I've been doing this Christianity thing every day, but I've never been officially baptized.
Yeah.
And I read it somewhere, and I was like, this thing is not complete. I must do this thing, so it was very important to me. And I even invited my friends over. That's how important it was. I invited people. I'm getting baptized. So the night before, I'd actually gone to church for another event because I was a youth minister at church that time, and I knew that I was spotting, but I was like, it was, I didn't want to give it any power because I just thought it's probably going to go away. I just didn't want to acknowledge it too seriously. Next time, please, if you are spotting, you might want to check with your doctor. Don't do what I did. But I ignored it. And then I went to church, and it was a very powerful service. And during service, cramps, intense pain. So I was in pain. I was like, what's going on? So I went to the bathroom, and then there's bleeding and there's clots, blood clots. So I'm like, okay, it looks like this miscarriage is happening. I went back to service. I didn't even tell my friends that I'd come. Well, after service, I was like, oh guys, so I was pregnant. They didn't even know I was pregnant because I'd already had lost one baby. I was pregnant, but I think I'm miscarried. They're like, okay, let's go. I'm like, let me finish baptism now, and then we'll go. There's no difference. Whatever is going to happen,
where did that? First of all, where did that courage come from? The courage to still stay and continue. I mean, even in the middle of the pain.
Yeah, I think in hindsight, I probably was not in my right senses. I think in hindsight, there's a peace and there's a power that the Holy Spirit can give you, where what you're saying is irrelevant to what you know, right? So you're saying miscarriage, you're saying pain, but you're also thinking, I need to get baptized. I need to get baptized, and that's just kind of what took over for me. So I think the strength really came from the Holy Spirit. People always think, and at that point, because I'd already lost my baby and I'd had a lot of back and forth with God, I knew what I was holding on to. I knew where I stood. So I knew that the most important thing for me was to even seal that more than anything else. So that's what it was. It was just, I was focused.
But so let's talk about your book. In your book, Royalty, you say this on page 92.
Yes.
My birthday was about a month after my daughter passed, so that was yet another reminder that my plans had fallen apart, as I intended to do a double Thanksgiving. My family and friends tried to make me feel loved, but when everyone went home that night, I went back to feeling like a failure. It was during this period that I realized that writing in my journal was also a form of prayer. When you don't know how else to pray, try writing it down. Something might just happen. This is something I wrote. Let's talk about that. Journaling.
Yeah, so
during a period of pain.
Yeah, sometimes it gets very difficult because sometimes there's only so much you can say. And of course,
you need to pour it out.
You need to pour it out. And you're thinking, oh, I can't really pray the way I pray because we're still giving God a bit of side eye. I'm not sure where me and God stand. So, let me just write. So I remember I just got on my laptop. My laptop. No, just type in. Even my testimony of losing my daughter, I wrote it during a season of what else can I say? Right. So I just started writing. Right. So I found journaling and writing to be a way out of my head, because a lot of things, what happens is that when you're in pain, you keep it in your head, keep it in your mind, so there are thoughts running through your mind, and when it's not expressed, it forms a stronghold. But when you express it one way or the other, if it's by writing, it frees your mind from certain thoughts, and so that's for me, I find very powerful. And then you read it later and you're like, oh, this happened, this was what I was thinking, and then
you also write in your book, you talk very openly about having an abortion. When you were much younger.
Yes.
And there are a lot of young girls, even older girls, ladies, or people in our age who have had abortions and who have struggled, with what they call the enormity of the scene.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
I want you to tell us how you felt at the time and how you feel about that now.
Okay, so let me say how I feel about it now. I'm strongly anti-abortion. I'm strongly pro-life. It's a debate that is going on in America and all over the world now. And it's so funny how I know where I stand on that matter. And sometimes I always feel like people will be like, oh, who are you to have an opinion? You've done it before. Why weren't you thinking this way? But the grace of God, my eyes have been opened to that. Why did I do it? When I was 19, I just found myself in a place where I didn't really understand the gravity of sex before marriage, the gravity of self-confidence, who you are. I didn't understand that all those things came together and mattered, you know. So who do you give your body to? When you're doing it, you realize the consequences of your actions. To be honest, nobody taught me. So all you hear about is don't have sex before marriage, don't do this. But nobody tells you, well, when you do, this can happen, this can happen. Are you ready to be a mother? Are you ready to take the diseases, all the things that come with that?
They don't even really, a lot of moms don't even really talk to their the girls about honoring their bodies. So a lot of girls, a lot of young women don't even know.
Yes, exactly. Right. So and they always think, oh, even when you want to keep your virginity, it's about, oh, I want to give it to my husband. It's not about giving it to your husband.
It's about honoring God.
Thank you. It's about honoring God, about knowing your worth, knowing your value as a person. And when you decide that, you know what, I want to have sex with someone, is because I found somebody that is on my wavelength that we also share. And ideally, this is not even for women alone, even for men. Like, sex is something that is so sacred. You exchange spirits, you exchange souls, you know. Every time you have sex with somebody, a bit of you is exchanged. You're taking on whatever is coming from them, and they're taking on something from you.
And just imagine if that one person has been with 10 other people. So you're taking like...
Do you understand the gravity of it? So it's not just about little sex, it's sweet. There's so much more to that. And I didn't know any of that. I was pretty ignorant, you know. Nobody really paid attention. Nobody thought, let's sit down and have this conversation. And I think that's even part of why royalty, the name of the book is Royalty, because I said in recent times I've understood my value as a person. And that's why it's like, oh, I'm royalty. I'm worth something. So sex was just whatever.
Yes.
And so I had the first time I was with this guy. Nobody special. Had sex, and I was abroad. I went to University of Warwick. So, what do you do? It was a no-brainer at that age. I was 19. No-brainer. Let's go to the clinic, and in the UK, it's actually free.
Just like that.
Yeah, it's free. So it was easy. So I went to the clinic. I said, "This is it. I'm pregnant. I don't want to get." Okay, no problem. In fact, the first time I went to get the first abortion, they had tried to stop me because I chewed. They had asked me, "Did you eat anything?" I said, "Oh yeah, I had a bit of gum and some water." And they said, "No, you can't
have anything."
Yeah, you can't have anything because it's dangerous. You could choke. So that was meant to be the hint. No, but that's like lying. So I had to wait an extra month. So I was pretty far gone. And when I look at my sons, I'm like, how did I think this was okay?
Yeah.
You know. So I did it the first time, and you think I'd have learned my lesson. I did not learn my lesson. So the second time I got pregnant. This time I was even too ashamed to go back to the school clinic. Because I was like, no, that's one of which I used stupid. So this time I actually paid, and it was a lot of money, over £1,000, I think. Anyway, I say all of this and I'm smiling and stuff, but to be honest,
during that time it was like a dark tunnel.
It was really like you're going down and down and down. And so after the second one, it wasn't just a flippant, it now became, you just, whether people want to admit it or not, and you know, the science and all of that, but for me, their lives. Those are two lives that you've just destroyed, for lack of a better word. That's for me. So the first one you can still think, oh, but second time you're like, So I found myself getting depressed. I would think about, you know, in London, I shut all my friends out. I was too embarrassed. I didn't know how to feel. And that's when the real salvation came in. So I'd been saved the first time, but this second time,
it now became born again.
Like I now realized that it's only Jesus that could heal all the broken parts.
Yes.
So I started going to church. And so this particular day, I'd gone to church, and I loved my church because it wasn't no shade to Nigerian churches, but it was a mixed church. And every time after church, they'll say, come forward if you want to be prayed for. And I've not really seen that here in Nigeria. It's always a go to our counselors. But after church, you can just come forward at the end of service and they'll pray for you. So the first time I went forward. Second time I went, pray for me. I just would be like, what's going on with this girl? But there was a day I went and I just started crying, wailing on the floor. And I remember them these two white pastors trying to say, start speaking in tongues, just let it all out. And I was just crying. And as I cried, I just knew
healing.
That, really, the release, the freedom, it just started coming. It was still a journey, but that was the beginning of something where it's like I could see again. You know, that pain or that shame had stopped blinding me.
There's something about brokenness, you know. There's something powerful about brokenness. and when you're broken before God,
Yes.
and then He starts to put you
the pieces back together. Exactly.
But as to what you say to a young girl who's gotten pregnant and is very scared.
Do you know what? I get it, because that's what happened to me. I was too afraid. I was like, going to go back to my father. I'm from a polygamous home. How do I They just confirmed that this girl.
Yes.
I
We told you before.
Anyway, because I was not the brightest girl.
Yes.
You know, everybody knew me with boys. Even then, I remember one boy came to see me one time when I was young. And my dad said, I hope Tito will not put us in trouble. And those things used to come to my mind. So I think it wasn't like they had already seen that this girl has a wild.
Exactly.
So I was never going to go back home.
Right. That's why we need to be careful what we say to our kids, say over our children.
Let's not even go. If I start talking about what you said, like I'll probably this conversation will not even end, because so many things are.
Let's go there, Bola Tito. It's very important.
Oh my days.
That people, because there are a lot of, there are a lot of ladies in our age category who are mothers now, and it's very important to me that we don't make the same mistakes that our parents made, that their parents made. There's power in the tongue. So we need to, let's talk about it. Let's be careful. Please share what your experiences were like with me.
So for me, it was, I grew up with my mom until I was about 5, and then I moved in with my dad, and my dad was living on exile, so it was always stepmoms raising me, and the things, you just hear snide remarks, and you just like. So even school, I wasn't the brightest, and it was obvious that I wasn't very smart. Ironically, I got to England and I finished all my A-levels with all A's.
Imagine.
So you can imagine that the environment I was must have negatively impacted me. Everything I did was always, what's wrong with you? You're not good enough. I always felt like that. And I remember one visiting day, I was half term. In fact, sometimes not the words, it's the actions.
The actions.
You don't realize that children can read.
Yes, because actions speak louder than words, actually. They look.
Yeah, they look. They look, or they'll just say something quietly. And so I remember they brought provisions for me and my brother. And I looked at the different bags. My brother's bag, let's say Ribena, my tasty time. They gave my brother two
Kellogg's cornflakes.
You
had
Nasco. All those little things. So you're just like, okay, clearly I'm not on the same, I'm not worth as much. And I think those things, those silent words, and even the verbal words, they played something in me. And I think even till tomorrow, no, God forbid, because my mentor will say this and vex, but I'm still trying to break myself from those limitations, those words,
because you just feel like you're not good enough.
I literally still say that to my mentor today. I can read Romans, and the book of Romans is all about, it's not about whether you're good enough that God calls you. So even sometimes to admit that,
in fact, God doesn't even call the ones that are so good. Because it's for His glory,
Exactly. God can be glorified if you think it's by your works. So I'll just say to my mentor today that I'm understanding that I've still fought with the idea that I'm not good enough based on how I grew up. And I'm understanding that it's not about that.
Right.
It doesn't even matter if I feel good enough or not. But guess what? I'm good enough because Christ makes me good enough. Jesus has paid every price for me. The sins in you I would commit even next year, you already paid for it on the cross. So I'm good enough. And that's what I believe that I'm also trying to teach my kids. I never want them to feel like, this woman doesn't believe in me. So my son, even when he's being naughty, I'll say, but you're such a good boy. Good boys don't do naughty things.
Right.
So I'm still telling you you're a good boy, but I don't like that you're doing something
And there's power in praise.
Yes.
We call it, I don't know if it's called reverse psychology. I don't know what it is, but there's a term that they use for it, correction by praise or something like that. So you praise the good in someone, right? You mentioned the good in someone, as you said, good boys don't do, and then the child automatically changes.
Exactly. So, a lot of things that happened in my childhood, I think it was just that my foundations were a bit broken. But, I remember that verse where it says that Christ is a cornerstone. He's rebuilt all my foundations. And there's this verse that talks about rebuilding your foundations with lapis lazuli. And Christ has become my foundation. And when the Bible says all things are passed away, all things have become new, I genuinely feel that. I feel like that's who I am. Sometimes I might not feel it. Sometimes I feel like I'm still doing the same things and I still have the same mindset. But it doesn't matter.
Right.
Because the fact remains that Christ died for me and it's made me new.
Amen.
So that's really the reality for me. So abortion, miscarriage, all those things, they don't define me anymore. If anything, I hope that my story, somebody will sit and say, you know what, I'm pregnant now. It's easier for me to have an abortion. because everything works out for good, because God works everything out for good, I would have the courage to hold on to this child
and trust God.
And it doesn't mean that it's not going to be painful. It doesn't mean that it's not going to be you might feel embarrassed.
Yes.
But it will be worth it later. I've never seen anybody
honor God.
Yeah.
And suffer.
Exactly. I have friends, they're single mothers, they got pregnant when they were young. And to me, those are some people I admire the most. Because they did what I could never do, the courage. And today they love their kids. And you see God in their lives and you're like, you know what? And they've never said, oh, I wish I could not do it. They're always thankful that they went through. So if anybody is feeling like, oh, this is scary, please just hold on a little bit more. I promise you, it'll be worth it eventually.
Please, can you tell us what your Instagram handle is so that people can write to you and you can encourage them? Okay. All the young girls who are watching this, yes.
Okay, so Tito Idakula at Tito, Tito Idakula. Oh my God, am I spelling my name
properly? Did you get it right?
Yeah. Tito Idakula, and then there's my Lighthouse NG at my Lighthouse NG.
I want to talk very quickly before we move on to the other question about the Healing Cradle.
Yeah.
Now, this is a new movement, right?
Yes.
How often does this hold?
So I was just thinking about that. So the first one happened on Mother's Day. It just happened to be the perfect day for it. But I think we started talking, I'm thinking maybe a monthly thing because I felt like the first one was just the first time to talk. But I hope that beyond that, it will be when you go home, you're thinking of something that somebody said that will help you with your healing. If it's that we're talking about forgiveness, if it's that we're talking about speaking to your spouse or your partners. So it's going to be a monthly thing, ideally. And by God's grace, I hope that there will be more testimonies from it. That people will come and they will say that because they attended, they saw God's love and God's comfort. And
let's talk about when you got pregnant again. You decided to do things a little bit differently.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. You decided that you were going to be led by the Spirit.
Yes.
How so?
Okay, so with the first pregnancy, I was being very afraid, and I felt like maybe God was also trying to get my attention or something. But spiritually, I wasn't there, so I just did whatever. But with Joshua, it was just like, you know what? I lost one baby at 42 weeks. I lost another pregnancy at how many weeks? God. At this point, I trust you with this one. So it was a very, keep quiet, don't talk to anybody for, how long did he say Elizabeth hid? But I remember that verse kept coming to me, so I said, well, you know what, let me just follow Elizabeth's example. So I did, I think, was it 3 months? No, Elizabeth was 5 months. You have to check that for sure. But I know that Elizabeth was, so I was like, okay. So I did that, and then even after that, I didn't really tell anyone. I just would, except you mistakenly saw me. You wouldn't have known I was pregnant. I literally hid. Then my uncle is a gynecologist, Dr. Shah, and I had not seen him for years. But I said to him, I don't know which hospital to go to. So I started praying about it.
You started praying about what hospital to go to.
Yeah, because I just realized that everything has to be.
Yes, everything counts, every decision.
But it doesn't mean that, I don't want people to feel like, oh, maybe it's because they didn't do that maybe they had miscarriages. It's not that. It's just that this is my story, and hopefully you can learn something from it. So St. Raphael's, I'm like, St. Raphael's, that's my uncle's hospital. I've not seen this man in so long. How will I go there? So I was saying to my husband, I was like, seen this man. And then the next day I saw a Facebook message from my cousin who happened to be a doctor in his father's hospital, saying, you know what, Balato, you're doing this thing, I would like to come. And I'm like, oh my days, I've never heard from this cousin in years either. What are the chances that just as I was saying to my husband, God will provide an avenue for me to connect, this same cousin messages me. And from that it was just the same, even with us, my son's name, Joshua, we prayed about it. Yes.
That was very interesting.
Yeah, right?
Please share with us very quickly for those who don't know.
Okay, so
I was sharing with you before we started the show that I had a similar, about my son too. But quickly share, yes, please.
Okay, so it's all in the book. I feel like I'm right, but anyway, so you can buy the book if you want more gist.
Buy the
royalty. Okay, so because everything was led, I didn't just want to give him a name, and honestly, I'm a Yoruba girl. I wanted to give him something deep. But my husband is from Middle Belt, so that's to find the balance. So it was going to be an English name or Bible name, something that both of us could relate to. So we're praying, we'll pray about it. All of us will keep quiet. So one day they say, what about Joshua? And my husband looks at me.
Like it's in my head.
Do you understand? I'm like, why are you looking at me like that? What did I say? You don't like the name. If you don't like the name, say it. Now what's all this drama? He said, I swear that's the name that was coming to me. Every time I want to talk about this baby,
there's no confusion with the spirit.
Do you
I'm telling
understand?
you.
And I'm like, oh, like my body was shaking because in as much as we pray, we do everything, some things will still shock you about how God works, you know. And I hope that God will always surprise me with His goodness, even though I know He's good. I hope that there will be things that He'll do that will be like, wow. And that was really a wow moment for me, like something as simple as our son's name.
Yes.
And that, so now we have Joshua.
Wow. And then you have Emmanuel also.
As well.
Every time you talk about your husband, there's a certain glow on your face.
Yeah.
That was how you met him.
Oh, it is. He's my best friend. We met through mutual friends.
Right.
You know, he had gone to secondary school with some people that had gone on a trip to Belgium when I was in secondary school. So we were connected when I came back to Nigeria after school, and he remembered seeing me, and I was just like, okay, at this point he's a musician. So he was starting his music career. And I'd heard, so we used to exchange messages. One day I remember I saw him at one club. I was like, oh my God, hi, he had performed your show or something. Oh wow, and he takes my phone and he puts his number inside. I'm like, look at you, why are you putting me? Anyway, give me his number. One day I'm driving home and I hear a song on radio and I don't know, I'd never heard his music before.
But you knew it was him.
I'm telling you, I just felt like, this sounds like something Bears would sing. I don't know where that came from. I think if I was deeper in the spirit, I might have felt like the Holy Spirit was telling me. But then I was just like, So I messaged him, like, oh, do you have a song on the radio? And he said yes. I said, oh, what's it called? Stop Pretending. I'm like, oh my God, I just heard you on the radio. I just knew it was you. And so even with that, and I'll go to shows and I'm like, oh, you know you're going to be my husband. You know, just fangirl. But
you used to say that to him?
Yeah, like as jokes. Even
before you started dating?
Before we started dating, it was just fun. You know, it was just funny. I'm a very, if you know me, you know I'm already like that. So I just used to take the piss. I'm very grateful.
Yeah.
I would not have thought that I would marry him. And you know, we'll have 2 kids. And today was telling somebody that, oh yeah, that's my second son. I was like, you have my second son? How did we get here? But I always say that that's the only person I could have married. According to God, that's the only person I could have married.
She's your soulmate.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody would have allowed me to be so verbal and open and, you know, free with my life story. Because at the end of the day, it also draws attention to him.
Yes.
So definitely is my partner in
everything.
Life. And everything. So yeah, that's my husband.
I like how you say he was the man and he is the man for you.
Yeah.
There are a lot of young girls who want to get married. What should they look for in a life partner?
Yeah, that's a jam question. You know, well, I knew that I wanted somebody that loved God. Because I'd dated a really nice guy before my husband. This is true. I'm not even trying to. He was a really nice guy, but he wasn't a Christian, and that always bothered me. So even though I wasn't even that deep, I just knew that I wanted somebody that got that, and that was my husband. So but Christianity is that's not enough, because there are also guys that are Christians that
and go to church every day,
and they're still not the best human beings. So
what's the one thing to look out for?
I think apart from looking out for somebody, you look in God. So you just say, God, open my eyes to the one that is for me. Because if you're looking based on your own idea, you might miss it.
Reminds me of the story of the prophet now. Was it the prophet Samuel who was supposed to go anoint kings? Yeah. Right?
I read that stories where it's on every day, David.
Yeah.
And you know, he saw all the tall and handsome. Because I know it's not that one. It's that one, the one you don't expect. So when you're thinking, oh God, I want this. And you can tell God what you want.
Yes.
But just be prepared for what God also gives you. Yeah. And if for some reason, but God mostly gives us what we want. But sometimes even when we're praying, we don't know what we want.
True.
What we think is important.
We know, we think
not
we know,
necessarily what's important. You might think I want tall and handsome. And but beyond tall and handsome, you might also want somebody that doesn't mind doing school runs to pick up the kids from school. You might also want somebody that you can talk to. And tall and handsome brother that you saw there might not necessarily have those gifts. So it depends on what's more important to you. And you might not even know, but God knows. So beyond anything, it's God. Listening to the voice of God and knowing that God will lead you to the one that's for you. I thank God for His mercy. Right. But I also knew that I wanted somebody that was genuinely after God's heart. And from the moment I met Bez, I knew that
he was the one.
It was the one. And there was something I remember him saying that, he's like, you know, I'm celibate. I'm not having sex with anybody until I get married. Wow. Doesn't even like me saying that. Wow. But he did say that, so I knew that there was something. And he said the reason why he said, because please, I fear God too much to cause anything that might cause a rift in our relationship. So it was all about that. So that always stayed
a man after God's mind.
So sometimes it's not about, and he wasn't going to church. He wasn't a church goer. He wasn't all of that. But he had that relationship where he did not want to mess it up by doing what would not please God. So that really was so not always what people say is also what they do and how they do it. So don't believe that because somebody's going to church 24/7.
Yes.
Yeah, necessarily. No, it's a lie.
It's not about that.
The Holy Spirit, it's not about that.
It's not about that.
In fact, there are many people that call themselves Christian, they're not born again.
Right.
So I'm just saying this.
You know, just before we round up, the Healing Cradle has brought relief to quite a number of people.
Yeah.
Can you share a testimony?
Oh, you know what's amazing about that? The other day, to our event, so this lady comes. So, you know, I was already blogging on my lighthouse. And there was a time I put up confessions when I was pregnant with Joshi. So that's something else I did. I used to, you know, there's that book called Supernatural Childbirth.
Yeah, I think everybody
has it. But I read it for my first pregnancy and it didn't seem to work
for
me.
Oh my God, I have goosebumps. It didn't work for my first too,
Okay.
but it worked for my second.
Really?
But you know what I think?
Yeah.
The reason why I feel it didn't work for my first was I was telling a lot of people, I'm reading this book called Supernatural Childbirth, and people were sort of discouraging me.
Yeah, like,
you know, I had this one cousin who apparently is a believer, and she said, you know what, Barbara, no, God has already said that women will, you know, travel and they'll be in pain before you know, in childbirth. And she said, look, it's not going to work.
You know what's even funny about it? I ended up having a cesarean, but the way I healed so quickly, my uncle, my doctor, still looks like, gives me, like, that was with Joshua. Like, it doesn't make sense. I never actually experienced pain. Wow. I never did. Like, from the moment I got up from that hospital bed, I never experienced pain.
Wow.
But the reason why I said is, so you know, the confessions and everything, so I was like, you know what? Maybe let me make this thing more personal. So when I was reading the Bible, and at that point, I wasn't going to work. I just quit a job. I've quit a few jobs, by the way. So I was going to work. So all I had time to do was me and God. Let's hang. So I just used to. So every time I was reading something in the Bible, anything I saw that was talking about childbirth, or
you would highlight.
I'll highlight, and then I'll write it as a confession and start confessing it. So you know, Isaiah, even at 100 years old, my children will not be considered old. Anyway, so I'd written it, and like last year, I just thought, put it up on your blog, and I just put it. I even did it anyhow, just whoever sees it. So the Healing Cradle happens, and this lady insists on coming, and so I'm like, we should like to those confessions. I honestly held on to them every day. Like I had alarms to make those confessions. Like if a day I did not make that confession, I'll make sure I do it. Like I'll just show that so long as I was confessing this, everything will be okay. Because she had 2 miscarriages at 12 weeks, so she was really
painful.
Yeah, exactly. That was painful for her. And so she even almost named that child Joshua because she just held on to my story so strongly. And so those confessions really helped her. She said, so now, even when any of her friends are pregnant, she'll send them the confessions. And I did not even know. I did not even know. And and that's one of the biggest testimonies for me. And today God was talking to me about, you perform for an audience of 1. Because I was thinking, the next Healing Cradle, if nobody comes, how would it be?
It's
that 1. And so I was like, I said, hey, if it's 1, it's okay now. At least if 1 person is impacted. God has said, no. The only person that you should be performing for is me. I am your audience of 1. It's me that will bring whoever else. It's about me. When you understand that I sent you on a journey and I've given you an assignment and you're doing it for me, everything else will fall into place. So when I give you a message, just do. Knowing that I'm the one watching. Don't care about how many people are watching on Instagram or on your blog or how many people are reading. Just focus.
The verse that comes to mind is seek ye first the kingdom of God, and every other thing
will be added. So now I'm just all about obedience, just about surrendering to the Holy Spirit. You know, I've been confessing this a lot. Christ is in me, the hope of glory. I believe that Jesus Christ is in me. So I choose to surrender to Him. I choose to trust Him. I choose to let Him lead me by His Spirit. And so if the Spirit says do another Healing Cradle and invite only 1 person, all right, sir, because audience of 1, and that 1 is God. And I want Him to watch and go, okay. And also, but don't fall into the trap of, oh, maybe God tells you something, you don't do it, and then you're thinking, God has condemned me. Yeah. You can never pay God back.
Right.
But what will happen is that He will be, oh, you didn't do it like that. Okay, do it better this time.
Because He's a good Father.
He's a good Father. But at the same time, you can't pay Him back, but you know that when you do try to do stuff, He'll be proud of you. Yes. So it's okay. Yes. And if you fall, it's also okay.
It's okay.
So just keep doing.
Yes.
Just keep doing. And so Healing Cradle for me is that it's God's assignment. And I just pray that if God is proud, that's really my ultimate.
Wow, your story is really amazing because from a place of pain, something so beautiful was born.
Thank you.
Thank God.
Thank
What does motherhood mean to you now?
Patience. Oh my days. I have learned I'm a control freak. And
We all are.
We all are, right?
We all are.
And man, my son Joshua.
I think when we have little kids, we all
we
are.
all think we can, but you know what? It also showed me how little control you have over someone's destiny.
Yes.
So my son Joshua, he's so strong-willed now. So if I'm trying to tell him, force him, and I just realized that I can't just think I can control everything, because he's also forming his own independence, his own thoughts. So I have to be more patient than I normally will. But it's also shown me God's love. The way I relate to my son, the way I love him, the way I teach him, the way I learn from him. I realize that my relationship with God is another step higher. Is a picture of that. So when I see him, I'm like, okay, so this is how God sees me. So it makes me very big in someone's eyes, but very small in God's eyes. So I'm God's baby. So it's a game of patience for me. And understanding myself more, and also understanding God more, and understanding that these children are God's own, and He has a destiny for them. And I always say this: God gave you these children perfect. All you have to do is not mess them up.
Say that again. God gave you these children perfect. All you have to do is not mess them up.
Literally, they come with their own minds, their own thoughts, their own. You know, my son is so strong-willed. Like, he's very neat. If Joshua enters in now, he wants to start arranging everything. And I just realized that he's naturally neat. I didn't teach him that. So I realized that he must have come from God like that. And so it's for me to just protect the perfection that God has given.
Right.
That's all.
And that's why God says that children are a reward, are a gift from God. And God never gives you a bad gift. He never. You know.
Never. And this is also for people that maybe their children have a challenge or the other. It might look like it's a bad gift, but even in that, there's some beauty. There's something there that God is going to use to glorify His name. But it depends on how you choose to look at it. It's not about how the world looks at it. Try to look at it from God's eyes and see God as a Father that can turn everything for good. So I really hope that that's a lesson people can learn, and don't compare.
Don't compare
to anybody else's. Really.
Don't compare
Your children. Don't compare. God, my child, in as much as I love him, and I post all the cute pictures on Instagram, sometimes I'm trying to pull my hair. So don't judge by my one cute picture, you know. So yeah, that's motherhood for me. It's a daily walk.
I think it's a good way to close. Don't compare.
Yeah.
And God will always make everything good.
Yes, always. I believe it. I really do.
Bola Tito, thank you so much for spending time with me today.
Thank you for
This
coming.
has been so much fun.
I know.
It's also been a teaching moment for me, and it's also been very, very enlightening. Thank you so much. We have a gift for you before.
Oh, thank you. Always nice to have this.
Here you go.
Oh, thank you.
Enjoy
so much.
it.
I appreciate it.
Bola Tito Idakula's book is out. It's called Reality, and you can purchase it from Okada Books.
Yeah, and if you go on my website, you'll see all the other places. Okada Books is on Amazon as well. So it's on Amazon, it's on Kindle, all the online platforms. And also, we're going to be stocking more, but all the information is on my website.
Right.
I worked in radio, so I say www.mylighthouse.com.ng, and you can also follow me on Instagram, Tito Idakula, and at mylighthouseng for all the details.
Thank you, Tito. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. I'm Barbara David. You've been watching Wimp Wednesdays. Thank you. God bless.